Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel. This is huge. Daily Beast, Pam Bondi toys with axing DOJ's public corruption unit. The Justice Department is considering scrapping a key safeguard that prevents politically motivated prosecutions of Congress members. You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder how the Daily Beast, what kind of headlines the Daily Beast would run if Rudy Giuliani, President Trump, and the Republican National Committee purchased a dossier that accused President Obama or Biden or Clinton or Pelosi of being a Kremlin operative. Okay, that's exactly what took place against Trump. The DOJ, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and they're also doing it at the Federal Bureau of Investigation as well. Trump's Federal Bureau of Investigation shuts down its public corruption squad, making it easier to go after political opponents. People committed crimes, ladies and gentlemen, and hit subscribe. Potentially one of those people is Senator Schiff, who possibly committed crimes. And I think that the DOJ, President Trump, Federal Bureau of Investigation, they're all about to indict Schiff and others. Here's why. Hit subscribe right now.
Dan, ultimately, people like Adam Schiff, the Democrat from California, is he doing his best to keep all this from coming out, or is he just playing the loyal opposition?
Adam Schiff is a snake. He's the biggest fraud on Capitol Hill right now. Adam Schiff is doing the Democrats' dirty work in trying to cover up. Here's the problem, Steve. I don't know how to say this any more candidly. The Obama team spied on the Trump team. The liberals have married themselves to years to this facade that they're civil liberties advocates. That's gone now. That is completely gone. They will be police state advocates from this point on when the public learns the true story of the extent of the Obama team spying on the Trump team, and it will decimate the liberal brand forever. And Schiff's the one who's been sent out there to lie and deceive in order to try and save this. But they can't, because remember, guys, there are court transcripts. The Democrats can't run from this. There's no plausible deniability.
We have to see him.
That's the deputy director today of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This was obviously years back in 2018. This has been going on since 2015. There were numerous crimes committed, almost certainly by top Democrats, potentially Adam Schiff. Here's one specific crime.
The whistleblower got caught with Chairman Schiff. Remember Chairman Schiff, the person that the Democrats, instead of the House Judiciary Committee, which has spent a full week on this, that's not who's been in charge. The person they put in charge was the person that got caught with the whistleblower. Have you spoken directly with the whistleblower? No, we have not. We'd like to. That wasn't true. The person that said he had evidence of the first fake impeachment scam, collusion with Russia, had evidence of that collusion and didn't have it. The person who, in the course of that, read into the record the Steele dossier because the people needed to know the truth about what happened. Well, we heard about the truth about the Steele dossier this week when the Inspector General told us it was all garbage, rubbish, all made up. Yeah, that Chairman Schiff. And now he got caught not being truthful about a whistleblower who, as I told you the other day, didn't tell the truth verbally and in writing, and that's in a transcript. You know what we didn't get in this 1 week impeachment summary in the House Judiciary Committee? We didn't get that transcript. Chairman Schiff didn't send that one over. Only if you were on the Intelligence Committee have you seen that transcript. I've seen it. I'd like everyone to see it.
Why?
So that's the head of the Central Intelligence Agency. You just heard from Dan Bongino. You just heard from John Ratcliffe, head of the CIA. And now you'll hear from Tom Fitton, who is awesome, an amazing legal scholar at Judicial Watch. But really quickly, you have potential perjury. You have all the evidence that Democrats have hidden. And if you look at a police state, if you look at a dictatorship, authoritarians, fascists, the true embodiment of those monsters is the modern Democratic Party, not Trump. You'd have to be a complete fool and imbecile to equate Trump who wants to end wars, not start them, who wants to limit government, who wants to shrink. He's literally doing the opposite of a despot, Trump. He wants to shrink government and end wars. And Democrats want to fund endless wars and make a monstrous, Byzantine, never-ending bureaucracy that they can then utilize in the manner that an authoritarian utilizes individual proclamations or, Democrats think that if they act in an authoritarian manner, create a new Cold War because Clinton lost, accuse political opponents of things they didn't do, create a Red Scare, McCarthy-era hysteria, accuse Trump of being a Kremlin operative, indict everyone around him, accuse Trump of things he didn't do, make absurd leaps of logic saying he's a despot when he isn't. They think that if they do that with a gigantic bureaucracy and media firmly on their side, that it's not fascism. The fascism of Democrats is that they utilize these insidious, they act in the most insidious way through a broad, ever-expanding Byzantine bureaucracy where, unfortunately, media is basically an extension. Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, Stephen Colbert, every single night. I mean, there's got to be an end. What happens when free speech becomes free political advertising? Every single night, like clockwork, the Washington Post, New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, Daily Beast, Rolling Stone, you can look, the 10, 20 other major publications, all of Hollywood. Okay. And then you have Democratic politicians who lead the charge and try to deceive the electorate into thinking that Trump was a Kremlin operative. And in doing so, committed crimes, potentially perjury, and other types of crimes, potentially destroying evidence. You don't think that the Ratcliffe at the CIA and Bongino at FBI and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, don't you think they know that potentially, possibly, Schiff, former bureau agents, Brennan, Clapper, you don't think they possibly destroyed evidence, which is a crime? You don't think they possibly perjured themselves, which is a crime? These are all criminal acts. 18 U.S. Code 371. You could potentially indict Schiff for continually lying about something that didn't happen. Everyone knows Trump wasn't a Kremlin operative. There's a long list of legal statutes Democrats broke. Check this out.
And it's not going to stop. I think Schiff is going to go back to the House. He hasn't suffered any political or even legal consequence, as I think he should, for his misconduct. And they're just going to continue to think of new ways to harass him or Lord forbid, even impeach him. If I were the president, I would appoint a special counsel or direct the Justice Department to criminally investigate the handling of his classified phone call with the Ukrainians, criminally investigate the leak of the Bolton book excerpts that presumptively included mishandling of classified information. More crimes have taken place, frankly, just over the last week or two, designed to undo the presidency.
Well, Adam Schiff should not be chair of the Intelligence Committee. We had asked the Ethics Committee to investigate his improper disclosure of classified information, and then he had these illicit contacts with Glenn Simpson and other anti-Trump witnesses. So 2 pending ethics complaints. Someone with that level of ethical malpractice should not be trusted with classified information. And him threatening to jail his political opponents, because this is a political process, and he's talking about finding and jailing his political opponents.
And when Trump, and I think it's potentially in the works, because if the public integrity units that protected Democrats when they went after their direct political rivals, if they're scrapping these wonderful departments that did nothing when Democrats were going after Trump and trying to imprison their direct political rivals, when they're scrapping these departments in the FBI and DOJ, it's almost certain that an indictment, many indictments, possibly including Schiff, are imminent. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Potential perjury, potentially destroying government records. That's why Schiff was pardoned. However, the pardon the pardon itself might not be, it is likely not constitutional, but let's say they hide behind the pardon with Schiff. There are criminal acts that almost certainly took place after Trump was president, became president the past 4 or 5 months, that they could tie into the criminal conduct prior. That's pretty obvious. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge.